Long before the world knew his name, the gods rejected him. They called him weak, worthless, a mistake. But what they didn't know is that inside this boy slept an S-rank ability so powerful, even the gods feared it. And his awakening begins now. The Grand Hall of Ascension was filled with shimmering light and palpable energy. Young hopefuls stood in a line, their faces a mixture of nervousness and excitement. This was the day their futures would be decided, the day the gods would grant them a divine blessing, a taste of celestial power. One by one, they stepped forward onto the dais. A girl with hair like spun gold was enveloped in a pillar of flame, her eyes glowing with newfound fire magic. A boy with a stoic expression was surrounded by crackling lightning, the very air thrumming with his power. Each student received their gift, their aura flaring to life, greeted by murmurs of awe from the crowd. Then, it was Eren's turn. He walked forward, his heart pounding a frantic rhythm against his ribs. He tried to ignore the whispers, the expectant stares. He knelt before the grand altar, his hands clasped, his head bowed. He waited and waited, but nothing happened. No flash of divine light, no surge of elemental energy. Just an unnerving, heavy silence that pressed down on the entire hall. The high priests exchanged confused, then disdainful glances. The crowd's murmurs turned to snickers, then to outright laughter. From the heavens, a disembodied voice boomed, its tone cold and absolute, unworthy. The word echoed like a death sentence. The laughter grew louder. Guards seized Eren, their grips like iron, and dragged him from the hall. He was thrown onto the cold cobblestones outside, the grand doors slamming shut behind him, sealing his fate. Humiliated, disgraced, and utterly powerless. That night, as the city slept, Eren lay awake, the shame and rejection burning a hole in his soul. Suddenly, a different kind of burning began, a strange, intense heat spreading from the center of his chest. He clutched at his tunic, his breath hitching. Peeking beneath the fabric, he saw a complex, glowing symbol pulsing with a faint, otherworldly light just beneath his skin. It was a sigil unlike any he had ever seen in the holy texts, intricate and ancient. It throbbed with a power that felt both alien and deeply familiar. But just as he started to question what it was, the burning subsided, and the mark vanished as quickly as it had appeared, leaving no trace. He was left in the darkness, confused and alone, unaware that he had just witnessed the faint stirrings of a sealed S-rank ability, a power the gods themselves had tried to erase from existence forever. The next day, a scream shattered the morning calm of the academy. Chaos erupted as a colossal shadow beast materialized within the main courtyard. It was a monstrous being of pure darkness, its form shifting and writhing, its roars shaking the very foundations of the buildings. Students scrambled for their lives, their faces pale with terror. The academy's finest teachers rushed to the front lines, unleashing barrages of fire, ice, and light. But their magic was useless. The creature seemed to drink the energy, its shadowy form swelling with each attack it absorbed. It was invincible. Eren, caught in the panic, hid behind a pile of rubble, his body trembling. He was weak, unworthy. What could he possibly do? But then, through a gap in the debris, he saw it. The shadow beast raised a massive, clawed limb, poised to crush a fallen student, his childhood friend, Layla. Everything inside him screamed. Without a second thought, without any plan, he burst from his hiding place and ran. He just ran, his feet pounding against the ground, his mind a blank slate of pure, desperate instinct. As he sprinted towards certain death, the burning in his chest returned, but this time, it was an inferno. The sigil ignited, blazing through his skin, casting a brilliant, ethereal glow. The world around him warped, time seemed to stretch, then slow to a crawl. The panicked screams faded into a distant, muffled hum, and in the sudden, profound silence, a voice whispered directly into his soul, ancient and powerful. S-rank ability, Chronos soul, unsealed. If you're still watching, you're part of the elite squad. Hit that subscribe button so you never miss the next awakening. A blinding explosion of silver light erupted from Eren's body, forcing everyone to shield their eyes. When the light receded, he was different. His eyes, once a plain brown, now shone with the brilliance of polished silver. A tangible aura of immense power radiated from him, bending reality in its wake. The shadow beast swung its massive claw down, an attack that should have been unavoidable. But to Eren, it was moving through molasses. He sidestepped it with an effortless grace, moving at a speed that seemed to defy the laws of physics. The beast lunged again, and again Eren dodged, not just reacting, but moving as if he knew where the attack would be before it was even launched. He reached out and touched the creature's shadowy hide. In an instant, the swirling, chaotic energy of the beast froze solid, captured in a state of suspended animation. The other students stared, their mouths agape. What is that? What kind of power is that? One of them whispered, his voice filled with disbelief. Eren didn't have an answer. He didn't understand it himself. It felt like he was standing outside of time, watching multiple futures unfold simultaneously, and simply choosing the one he preferred. He could see every possible outcome, every choice, every consequence, all laid out before him like a map. He felt an instinctual control, a mastery over the flow of time itself. He wasn't just fighting, he was editing reality. As the Shadow Beast remained frozen, a dying high priest, pinned beneath a fallen pillar, beckoned Eren closer. With his last breaths, the old man confessed a terrible secret. "You were never weak, boy," he rasped, blood trickling from his lips. "You were born with something more than a blessing. A god-level S-rank ability. Chronos soul, the power to command time." He explained that the gods of the current era feared this power, as it was a relic of a time before them, a force that could unmake their divine authority. They saw his birth not as a gift, but as a threat. So, they conspired to seal it away, to brand him as unworthy, and cast him out, hoping the ability would remain dormant forever. They lied to the world, and to him, but the beast's attack, the surge of his will to protect his friend, it was the key that shattered the divine lock. And as the priest's life faded, he whispered one last warning: "The seal is broken, and far away, in their celestial realms. The gods can feel it." The Shadow Beast roared, breaking free from Eren's temporal hold. It gathered all its remaining energy, its form condensing into a sphere of pure, annihilating darkness, a final, desperate attack that would wipe out the entire academy. The students and teachers braced for impact, their hope extinguished. But Eren didn't flinch. He walked toward the cataclysmic blast with a calm resolve. As he moved, the world around him shattered like a mirror. Time stopped. Debris from the crumbling buildings hung motionless in the air. The terrified faces of his peers were frozen in silent screams. He stepped through the frozen air, navigating a world that only he could perceive, and placed his hand on the very core of the beast's attack. With a single thought, he unleashed all the potential energy he had absorbed, all the stolen moments, all the temporal power now at his command. There was no sound, only a silent, all-consuming flash of white. When reality snapped back into place, the Shadow Beast was gone. Not defeated, not wounded, it had simply ceased to exist, collapsing into fine, glittering dust that drifted away on the wind. For a moment, there was a stunned silence. Then, a single cheer broke out, followed by another, and another, until the entire courtyard erupted in a roar of celebration and relief. The teachers, who had once looked upon him with scorn, now knelt in reverence. The students, who had mocked him, now chanted his name. The boy they had all dismissed as the god rejected had just become their savior, and this is only the beginning. Because the gods who abandoned him are about to learn fear.